Yeah, I'm recording to the cloud,
Good.
so I don't think it matters. When I stop and I make you host, I think it keeps recording.
Yeah,
But I'm
no, it
actually
was
not
just
sure. Can
because,
you? I don't think,
yeah. Let me do the recording. Just maybe you stop it again and
but I
then we
think you cannot record.
say
I
again.
think as a participant, you cannot. As a
Then
participant, you cannot
then make
record.
then make me the host. Let me
Yeah,
be the
but then
host.
only I cannot leave. Okay, I cannot let people in anymore. Then, but it is
Ah,
okay.
oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So I,
I see.
but let's see if I, what happens if, because I actually do not have to leave now. So I can just stay until the end
Okay, cool.
and so it's not a problem. But for next time, I will figure it out. If I make you the host, what happens with the recording? Because, um,
Yeah, let's
I
figure
don't
that out
think it,
another time.
yeah, I will figure it out
Yes.
next time. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for hosting us.
Mhm. Pleasure.
Yeah, so please feel free. Marina.
It's like just sort of, sometimes it feels like work to be more here, you know, more,
Yeah.
you know, and the idea that it's work is not really helpful.
Yeah, that's just an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it is, in a certain way, work. It's, you know, when there's a habit, when there's something going on automatic since forever and ever and ever, and then there is a seeing of that is not helpful, and something else is more interesting, it needs to build new neural pathways, and that feels like work. It can also be experienced as heat, as a strong pull in different directions. So it makes totally sense. Until new neural pathways have built themselves, wired themselves, it might feel like effort.
Yeah.
Mm. But it's good effort.
Okay.
Effortless effort.
Mm. When you say heat, I mean, I have heat in my body now since we've been talking.
Yeah.
So you mean that sort of just that?
Mm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. When the habit is not supported anymore. You know, can you imagine the nerve endings and, you know, all those things that are involved for something to flow in a certain way, and then all of a sudden that flow is redirected, but it does not really know where to go yet. So it can cause friction, and that can cause heat. Lots of people experience heat when patterns rearrange themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good sign.
Yeah. It can be discharged too, can't it? Like in SE, it's discharge sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Even though discharge is again something different.
Okay.
Yeah. Discharge is kind of when there's energy that is kind of stuck, that has not been in flow for a long time, when that comes into movement, you know, like held energy.
Yeah. Okay.
Woof, when it starts flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also heat can also create heat, or shivering, or shivering, shaking, all of that also can also create heat.
Okay.
But that effort you were talking about, that is rather, that's not discharge, as far as I understand when you talk about it. That is like redirecting energy into something new. And that can be perceived as effort, as work. No, we were talking about work. That's what I heard. Yeah. And then I just brought heat in because it can be experienced as heat, but also as work. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, that's why, you know, lots of in different realms in a way, you know, spiritual realms, but also when you want to learn something new, it is effort at first. It can be experienced as effort at first because it's new.
Yeah.
You know, so when you practice something new, at first it's like, oh my God, I will never be able to do it like you, for example, who have done it already since 10 years. Like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden it starts flowing.
Yeah.
But at first it seems like effort.
Yeah. The thought comes in my head, well, I have been at it for about 10 years. It's like slow.
Yeah, you know.
I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's all relative in a certain way, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not always, of course, just.
Yeah. If it's a passion, time doesn't really matter, huh? If it's a complaint, oh my gosh, then it's suffering.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a passion.
Yeah.
Passion,
Then
and at the same time, most of the time, most of the time I wander around completely thinking, this is Marina, I'm Marina, I am Marina, and yet it's a passion. Do you know what I mean?
passion? What's the passion? That's actually a good question. What is the passion?
Passion is to I haven't got the words, but it's a deep touch when I have that question in mind.
Mm. Mm.
Like a deep longing.
Mm. Mm. It's actually really good to look into those questions. Huh? It's like, yeah. Mm. To get really, really clear. Really get clear, what am I here for? You can have your own questions in a certain way. How do I want to direct my life? If, on a certain level, as we know it's doing it by itself. And then at the same time, also those questions they come by themselves and they play themselves out by themselves. So we don't even need to go there further. It's just all happening in a way. Yeah. So for me personally, it's been knowing from a different perspective that there is no purpose, very clearly, but from another perspective, there is a purpose. It's again that everything and nothing,
Yeah.
It's just when that purpose becomes a pressure, or when it gets seen from the sense of I, from the contracted sense of I, people call it ego. When it's seen from that, it's a trap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's like, I'm here for this, and I'm the big, and you know,
Yeah.
look at me, you know. And it's part of our development, you know. At one point when we grow up, it is like, look at me, you know. I don't know what age, 2, 3, I think it's that kind of age, you know, when the sense of I gets all of a sudden discovered, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's like coming in community again and seeing, well, there are other beings, learning boundaries and all that, and seeing, whoa, this system came with this gift. Wow, by itself. And then it's like, oh, how wonderful. How can that express itself to the fullest? Wow. You know, some system is a good singer, some system is a good speaker, another system is a good swimmer, another system is a good whatever it is. Being still, you know, another system is a good mover, you know, just whatever it is, whatever it is. And letting that kind of move through. So recognizing what that system Marina is really good at, or here for.
If I know the answer to that.
It's good to have a look. It's really good to have a look. In my experience, it takes that sense of lostness away. It takes the sense of uselessness, just all those strange ideas that kind of come through thinking in this amazing world. It just clears it all out.
Yeah, that feeling is often there since I've stopped working. Since my daughter moved over Easter, feeling a little useless, but it does come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not completely, but
yeah. So see, I would suggest, you know, to really have a look at what's the gift of the system that Marina comes with. What, you know, write it down, or make a drawing out of it, or, you know, be creative with it. Be creative. Like, wow, this is really what she's good at, and this is what she likes, you know. Or she could, this she could do too, or, you know, just getting involved with the gift that you are. Yeah. And not letting anything else in. So that you will have some effort again, because I know your system loves to go into what it's not good at. Rather than what it's good at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go into detail, just tiny little bits to encourage the system to see how beautiful it is. You know, what a miracle it is. Out of nothing, there's all of a sudden this appearance. We call it Marina. So keeping that in mind, absolute miracle. Isn't it?
Yeah. We are.
Oh,
Yeah.
just everything.
Yeah.
Just
every single being so completely different and yeah, it is. It's kind of a miracle thing, isn't it?
yeah, keep talking. Now you're in on that path. From there.
Yeah.
From there.
Well, it's sort of that, that thing that people say about flowers, that they just show themselves completely without any, so their gift is that beauty or the smell, or that's their gift, isn't it? Not doing anything.
Yeah.
Because I see it as sometimes, well, I don't do a lot because I don't have a whole lot of energy. But, it's like, it's not about doing, is it?
So come back to the mystery. Come back to the yes, there you go. Come back to the miracle that you are. Yeah. So write that onto your mirror or wherever. Put a little note into your pocket.
Mm.
The miracle that you are. The miracle that everything is. If life is not experienced from there, it's a drag. It's suffering, it's hell. It doesn't mean that our systems are not slipping into there because we're so used to it. But that is exactly the effort, Marina. That's, if you talk about effort or work, that is the work you have to do. Again and again. What am I here for? Seeing the miracle that I am. Cells putting themselves together and making a body seemingly, it's like nobody can explain anything. It doesn't stop us from trying, but it does not really make sense. It's such a miracle, all of it, all appearance. And then, last time we went through all those senses. Just those 5 senses that are so dominant.
Yeah.
Wow. That it's possible to see color, form, all of it. It gets me speechless. So that's from where you have to look. It's like, wow. Oh, this system, it doesn't have much energy. Wow. Compared to what?
Yeah, I've got more energy than some.
Compared to what?
Yeah, compared to 10 years ago.
Yeah. Compared to what? This system all of a sudden has gray hair. Wow. Far out. How the heck does that happen?
Yes.
Yeah. That ever-changing mystery, great, great mystery.
I mean, the things I can think of that this Marina, this nervous system has is, well, in depending where I am and what, but I can be very playful very quickly, but hasn't been happening much of late. But, you know, like certain friends I'm with or certain instances, like, yeah, that's, do you mean that sort of thing? Just little sort of.
You tell me, you know, I'm just inviting in a way. You know what I'm inviting you to? What I'm inviting you to is to see from a different place. Yeah. If you see as the identified small entity Marina, you know, if we want to talk from that perspective, you can see conversation doesn't go far. You have no clue. You have no clue who you are. You just see everything that's not right, and then you ask a question. You make me an authority. Yeah. And then you say, "Oh yeah, Meike said," you know, and then for a certain time it might be okay, yes, she said, and then you will say after a while, "What the heck did she mean? And why did she say this?" And you know, so that is when you see from that contracted sense of I as Marina person, when the mystery is gone. Yeah. So if we can't have a conversation as the miracle that we are, it's useless. It's useless. Absolutely useless. So let that be your practice. That would be my invitation or suggestion, and you will know whenever it feels lost, whenever it feels I don't know, all that, then it has made itself small. Then it has made itself small. So, and then you use every tool that you've learned to get a bigger perspective, so that you can see the miracle of who you are again. Okay.
But see, I've gone back in, you know, into the mind because there's a bit of confusion. But yeah.
I know. And is that who you are?
No.
Yeah. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Zoe.
Meike. Yeah, good to see you.
Yes, good to see you too.
Yeah, I've really missed all the, I don't know why, but keep missing them. And then I watched them later and wow, and wow, and wow. Yeah, and wow. Yeah, fantastic.
It's good that they're available, huh? Those videos.
Oh, really, really good. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. So you survived the fires and all of the hell broke loose over there, and
yes, yeah, we've been very, very lucky. very lucky.
Mm.
2 weeks of full-on intensity, and then the rain came.
And then the floods, yeah. Or the rain.
No,
Fire.
just rain. Yeah, we just had really good rain, and enough rain to got rid of the fire.
Fabulous.
So yes, it was fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a bit smoking after the first 2 days of rain, and then there was another load of rain and filled up all the water tanks, and and yeah, we got rid of the fire.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, very lucky.
Yeah. I wanted to share a miracle with you. Yeah. I've got new eyes. So I had cataracts, and they were, 7 years I've been living in a fog and making up what was around me. I think I was a bit nervous about getting it done. But anyway, they were in the first morning of the one eye. I, staggered into the bathroom, and you take off this big patchy thing, and it was like, wow, an epiphany of not just seeing, but as if every little cell could see. It was, yeah. And so every moment now is a miracle. I can see leaves and from way off through windows and cobwebs, and miles away I can see to drive, and not so good at the close up. So I've got these whatevers, but that, and the joy that brings, initiates, like, is just constant and fantastic. Like it's, yeah. So this clear seeing, almost in a way took itself out of itself, and yeah, well, who knows, whatever. But since then, and there's a whole different perspective, I guess. The cloudy, foggy, grumpy, yeah, -1 just doesn't, hardly appears at all. And stuff still happens, and it's all up and down, and life's doozy, but something just doesn't, yeah, it doesn't stay there long. And
Wow.
yeah.
Happy to hear.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. I have my son living with me now, and his kids come in because they've split up, and his kids come and go, and all the old stories of, you know, I love living on my own, and this is my space, and boundaries, and God knows what, and somehow they just don't appear, and if they do, they drop away. And yeah, there's just this, the whole perspective, everything has shifted at some amazing level. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that because it's
very, very, very happy to hear.
Yeah, constantly. And I'm not sure, Micah, about these screaming babies that are still probably there or somewhere.
The what?
Screaming babies, because that was the last kind of, time that I spoke with you, I think. And there were screaming babies anyway.
Yeah.
And I guess I hadn't, this because they're not non-speaking, they passed under the radar, I guess, in a way. And yeah, I think they're okay. No, I don't. There's no need to go there, is there? You know, I don't like. I did go around, look under rocks, and
it's kind of. That is kind of the old habit, huh? The old habit to. Somebody once said on a retreat, digging for gold in the. No, digging for shit in the gold.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's not necessary. It's not, you know, if something comes up, okay, then you see if it needs attention or not. But that's the old world that we've come from, at least from my perspective. Just constantly looking for what's not all right, rather than staying with the miracle, staying with the
the ever wonder, really, isn't it?
The wonder, yes, the wonder.
Yeah.
And there, you know, we were talking, Marina and I were talking. It seems like effort at first, and again, it may seem like effort, but I don't know anything else. So it's like coming now to a place, that is the most important. That is the most important.
It seems like it's happening on its own, at its own pace, and 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 that's miraculous.
Absolutely,
absolutely miraculous.
Then it steps also in. It knows exactly where to step in. It knows exactly what needs a hand or where it can assist, or because it comes from that other place. It comes from that wowness, from that sense of awe. Wow. It steps out of that. I mean, I don't really like that word, but I don't have a better one, of that egoistic mindset. It steps out of that because that just knows that that is not true. So, it, you know, like you say, of course, there's space for your son in your house and his kids coming in and saying hello and whatever. And it shifts. It shifts big time. It shifts.
It's totally expanded, like just opened up, and all those old, oh my God, look what they're doing with my knives and forks and cups and it doesn't, I mean, I'm saying that, but actually it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
The knives and cups and forks, there's no favorites anymore. There's no, it just doesn't happen. And it's like, whoa, that's a miracle, you know? Yeah. Like, and the body has more energy, like energy is flowing differently. It has much more energy. Yeah. That's another miracle.
Always through eye surgery.
Well, you know, I did sit by a river for a long time. Deep rest.
Yes. Yeah.
You're right.
Deep rest.
So yeah, no, not just the eye surgery, but that certainly.
I know, I'm joking. That's how we started.
I know. But it was good because it felt like that. I just got back and I was scared of, you know, all of that. And then it was just like, wow, I can get into the van easily, you know, now, whereas before I was climbing and, you know, using steps and God knows all kinds of things. And all of these sorts of shifts, who knows what happens first, or who cares even, really? But
yeah. Until the next shift.
Until the next shift. And and watching the videos with you and watching everyone blossom, expand and lighten as light. And it's just wondrous. It's like, wow. So yeah, just gratitude, really. I just wanted to thank you for the years and years and years of constancy. So are you doing well, Meike?
Yeah, you know.
Meike said, the body, the grey hair, the
life is doing its thing, huh? That's
and looking after that huge property and the chooks and ducks and snakes and Isaac and all of it.
Kind of.
I wonder, will you ever travel again? Like, is it going to happen?
I wonder too if I will ever travel again. Yeah.
It's a strange thing, isn't it? Yeah.
It's been good, you know, staying in one place. It's been really good.
Oh, fabulous, and really great for us. Well,
there hasn't been a calling. It's quite interesting.
No.
No clue. Yeah.
Yeah.
All is well.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, maybe it has been retreat time also in a certain way. There's also been intense times, you know, with all the physicalities, you know,
Oh,
all that stuff
yeah.
that happened with Isaac the last 3 years. You know, only afterwards how intense it actually has been. It's like far out, you know, when the intensity loosens in a way, you know, it's like
Yeah.
far
Yeah.
out. It's taken a lot of energy.
So he's doing
And
all right, huh?
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. And it has brought a lot of gifts.
Mm.
So, you know, it's like one of those what life has to offer, you know. It's like what's the gift that this circumstance brings. And that's just what our interest is, isn't it? It's like, wow, confronted with this circumstance, and what's the gift? And being so many gifts out of it. I'm very grateful for it all, and it has been very, very intense. So
Oh, yeah, I know.
yeah,
Well, all for the planet and for individuals at so many horrifically deep levels, you know, like catastrophes and traumas and all sorts of things. And yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and continues. Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah. So all is well, all is well.
Yeah. And this virtual life that runs, like the grandkids are on their devices constantly,
Yeah.
almost addicted, all kinds of,
Mm.
and I see that is their life, you know. It's
You know, it's
a lot of
also that is also interesting because, you know, if there's no guidance, because there could be guidance, but somehow, you know, the guidance is let them do what they want to do, and instead of maybe something different, you know. It's like not here or not there. Easily you could easily direct, but somehow our society doesn't really do that.
yeah,
There's not really a guidance, which is a pity.
Well, if at all, the guidance is toward that, toward the because I guess that everything is less hassle, you know. There's whatever the world is creating at the moment. Yeah,
it's pretty. You know, if I would.
I mean, we dragged them out kicking and screaming to the beach and, you know, climbing and rock thinging and fishing and but the moment they're in the door again, it's like, yeah.
Oh, but that's at least they have that experience, which is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. It's
climbing and swimming.
Yeah. It's as if we live in different dimensions and bubbles now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see in a certain way that a different kind of human creates itself, huh?
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't really enter their world because it's a million different bubbles, like lots of little short bubbles. They've stopped reading books. Concentration span of is only a reel long. But it's like, well, their world is being created, and as much as by us. Well, yeah, some old granny that, I kind of come out there going rah, 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 and they just laugh at me, and it's like, yeah. But anyway, it's like a future is happening inner now is being birthed by, which we wouldn't have noticed quite so much before, I don't think. A weird future, a different future, a different world. Yeah. Yeah. So this, the old ways of speaking, being, talking, managing and all of that, how I did, it doesn't land anywhere with these kids. It's, it's already old tech, you know.
Yeah. They're still quite young, huh?
Well,
Teenage or?
Teenage, you know. Yeah, one is nearly 16 and she's full on teenager and all of that, and the other is coming on 12. So, and they may as well be 30, Micah, because really they have these amazing adult sort of stuff and information, and yet very young, still very young. And that's
they might come back. That's what we're experiencing with our children here.
Well, that's the hope. Yeah, you reckon? Yeah.
I'm just speaking only from my own experience.
Yes.
So when they don't really know how to be in this world, or if they know how to be in this world, maybe it just goes differently. I don't know, but I've experienced that with especially our youngest children. So they have come back in a different way. So they are now in their 20s.
Right.
And every age group, has a different expression. So it's quite amazing how deep you can actually have an exchange with them, how deeply they feel, how deeply they can feel.
Yes.
I
noticed that with older ones. Yeah, I do notice that with the older ones.
So there you go.
Yeah. But this lot, I wonder. But hopefully they'll remember trees and grass and water and fresh air and sun and birds and or not.
Teenage is very, very intense times, isn't it?
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
do you remember
rediscovering that
time?
Pardon?
Say again. Do you remember your times?
I was in a convent with all girls and nuns. I have, it was, vastly different, sheltered workshop kind of thing. Yeah. So no teenager didn't make. I don't know. I don't recall ever being a teenager like.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Must have, but anyway, So thanks, Mike. I won't take up any more time. It's just I wanted to share the joy and
wonderful. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming in to visit us.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Laura.
Hello.
Hello. It's a beautiful conversation, huh?
Say that again.
What a beautiful conversation.
Mm. Yeah. There's always such a temptation to like speak, but then I didn't really know what to say.
Mm.
And it was so curious about this. Like that was way more interesting than like the idea of, oh, I should say something. Yeah, I was just so curious. Like the conversation before, there was such a curiosity about what was really going on. I don't really know how to describe it, but it felt like there was lots of subtle things playing and happening. What it could be for me, I don't know, whatever. But it just got really, really curious, like what things were happening, and it was like, what is that? I'm kind of wanting to ask you about your experience, but I'm not really sure what I want to ask or what I'm thinking I want to know. I don't know. Just curious again.
You know, experience is constantly changing.
Yeah.
It's not even important.
No.
Mm.
I think that, yeah, that was just actually something that just wanted to like, because it's often a thing, isn't it, to like want to know and to want to like, it comes back to that control we talked about before, like box it in and narrow it.
Yes.
Rather than let it be.
Yeah. You know, and both have their place. You know, on the level of living life, it gives orientation. You know, you can really, okay, this experience means this, and then you've got your guidelines in a certain way. You know, and then when you don't have to work, or when you just, you know, at home, it's like, oh, you don't have to focus anywhere. You can just, it can just flow, you know, and you don't have to focus. So both has its place. Yeah. But you know, when we sit together like this, it's just that dropping into, we don't even know what. And then it goes a bit, it contracts a bit, and then it gets wider, and you know, it just does its amazing dance, and gives also an amazing experience of flow, or you know, being together, unified field, or you know, like, whoa, sure. And in between, some thoughts come in, and then it focuses, and all of that. But here we don't, you know, we, of course, we can ask each other, what was your experience here? So just to compare notes, or just for fun. But You know, when we sit together like this, it doesn't really much matter what the experience is. You just, there's just an experience of flow. That's what I could say.
Yeah, because like things rise, but then they fall, don't they? So it's kind of like, yeah.
Coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. And right now we're not focusing on anything. Sometimes it gets stuck, like it focuses on something, and then it starts moving again. Just like life does. If you go to university or wherever you go, okay, then you need to focus and you need to put things into boxes. No, it's just a different orientation there. Or if you go to the shopping center and you need to buy, you want milk and eggs and bread, then it's good to know what milk, eggs, and bread is. You know, so otherwise you run around and yeah. So both has its place. So that's my experience. You know, when a knife cuts your finger, it will bleed and it might hurt. You know, that's also another experience. And yeah, it's good to take care about it. Yeah. But when we can just sit together, it's like, oh, it's so nice. Yeah, breathing and not having to perform, not having to show off, not having to do much, just connecting. And maybe having a moment of peace. So very simple, very, very simple. You can say nothing special, but it is very special. It is very, very special.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks. Susie.
I just had a small question. Hello first. I was just going to ask you, I guess I just was hoping you could share your experience of like the, well, I guess it's coming, I guess currently there's an interest here to put attention on the inner energy body, or the inner kind of feeling that energetically within, I don't know how to say that, and kind of and kind of like, yeah, this is terrible. But essentially, yeah, there's been an interest to kind of explore or put attention on and feel, I guess, or tune into that kind of, you know, that subtle energy body within the body, and feeling that almost as a point of experiencing with all the senses in that kind of one, I don't know how to put words on that, but in that one space. And I just I'd love to, if you were happy to share your experience of kind of tuning into that and rest, I guess, being in, not, I guess because it's always there, but your attention, it's like the attention isn't there, or it's not felt physically, or yeah, and I feel sorry. That is the best. I feel like I can communicate that. I feel like you know what I mean.
Are you talking about aliveness?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, the inclusion of physicality, of body. Yeah, you know, there, oh my gosh, there's so much going on, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that kind of subtlety, I guess, which like, yeah, I'm aware of my senses, but kind of like real like really feeling into, like, you know, having hands and having feet and having, you know, how do I just kind of like real subtle level.
Yeah. Wow, fantastic. Love it. I love that experience. I love it. There's not always the time for it, you know, but when there's the time for it, well, I mean, it's sensual. It's sensuality, actually. It's, you know, even just touching with your hands skin is like, wow, it's wow. I like that very much. I love experiences like that. And I like taking time for that. I like taking time for, actually talked about that with a friend the other day. You know, the subtlety of I found where there are dislikes, for example, in the systems. Like, you know, where it doesn't like itself. And exploring there is very, very, very interesting for me. To get a different sense. But also there where it likes itself. So I'm not sure if that is what you mean. So it's hard to speak about it, you know, because experience does change all the time, you know, but I can say that my system does that. It loves the inclusion of physicality here, you know, including really this, with all the sensations, with all the fineness of it. The fineness of it is very, very interesting. So you got to tickle me a little more what you want to hear.
Let's see. I guess it's like I think because, you know, like when there's more when you're able to put that attention into feeling the body, especially on an energetic level, like that real like I can touch externally, or I can hear things and I can see things, but it's like a layer of like I don't know, it's just a very that real subtleness of sensing, I guess, and feeling that with the whole system, like even not just hearing with the ears or seeing with the eyes, but feeling it. Does that make more sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, it all makes sense. It's just, you know, talking about it is not so easy because it's not just black and white, isn't it? It's, you know, to compare even notes with you know, how one senses is very, very different. It's difficult to describe, I find. It's like, you know, how to describe what water tastes like. It's impossible, actually. It's really, you know, where would you start to describe how water tastes? Isn't it? So what's beautiful is coming again from that place of awe, from that place of wonder or miracle, or it's like letting it explore itself is absolutely amazing. That there is a body is absolutely amazing. That how it manifests itself is, where would you start to describe? Where would you start to, poetry comes close, maybe, or other than that is very, very, very difficult. Can't compare, you can't, you can just yeah. The energetic of this is beyond intimacy.
Would you say that you've been, I guess, how is it, that your depth of perceiving that has deepened? I guess, you know, like when I think back to, say, when there wasn't that mental clarity, or there was, you know, there was a lot going on mentally or physically, you know, that ability to pay attention to the subtlety of those sensations, yeah, was kind of limited, I guess you would say. So it feels like that there's more, it's not, I guess it's always been there, but that capacity to notice hasn't been there. That would be the way to say it.
It's such a beautiful invitation that you're giving, Susie. I just love it. Just need to say that. There has always been that fineness, or that even noticing has always been there, but there was confusion. There was confusion, and that confusion came through being taught that this entity is Meike, and kind of being put in a box. And with that, there was all of a sudden a right and wrong, a good and bad, just judgment, just normal judgment, not even with bad intentions, but in our society, in our culture that we grow up in, there was immediately judgment on that. And that has brought a lot of confusion, and it has taken away from the sense of awe and the sense of wonder, in my personal experience. So when that, you know, so there was a sense of I, and that sense of I came with a big judge, I would say, you know, that always had a comment on, no, it shouldn't be like this, it should be like this, or, you know, whatever, and didn't really fit into this world, and, you know, all those things. And when it realized that that sense of I is actually a false one, that was the beginning of an opening into awe and into that energetic flow. So that was just the beginning. So it opened the doors gateways. I mean, it's still opening into far out. Look at this system. What comes out now, all of that energeticness, what you were actually talking about, is received and perceived as a gift. So all the right and wrong of it is crumbling, it's crumbling away. And it's pure wonder is appearing. So that's the journey being here. And, you know, it is a never-ending journey. But it started with that, it was always there, the sensitivity or whatever you want to call that was always there. But there was a huge confusion that it identified as with the air. And when that crumbled off, it's like, it took a deep breath into, now I can unpack the gifts.
It's good.
Yeah.
And can I ask? Can I ask, like, for, I guess, because intuition is like part of that, that kind of sensorial experience, which isn't, I can't say it's nurtured. Yeah.
Which isn't mental. It's beautiful. Intuition comes, you know, when that flow is flowing. I don't want to put anything else on there. Intuition is there. It does it itself. You get that sense, you really get the sense of it happens by itself. And however it unfolds is all right. It comes from, life lives itself from a different place. And you can call it intuition. You can call that life intuition, intuitive life. Because it's not disturbed by the mental activity. It doesn't come with a sense of judgment. It doesn't come with a sense of right and wrong. It just comes from a flow. And it's, if you know, to say it feels all right. It knows, it's more knowing. It is all right the way it is. It is all right the way it is. It doesn't make itself stupid, but it also doesn't make itself righteous. It's like, okay, this is what it wants. Okay, this is what it wants. And it's nearly like it surrenders into itself. You know, all those mental constructs, all those beliefs and ideas surrender into that flow. It's nearly like, you know, when there's a river going and, you know, when it takes down dirt stuff. So those are the dirt surrenders into the flow. So that's with the thoughts. They surrender the ideas. They surrender into the flow. They just are taken. It's not even a surrender in a way. They're just taken without resistance.
And did you find that your because I think sometimes it's really easy to dismiss the subtleties. I don't know how else to describe it. Of those, for want of a better word, of that intuition or so I guess it's asking your experience of was it, I don't know, like just paying more attention to that, or being able to discern the subtleties more or deeper, or
Oh, how beautiful. You know, the more the flow is flowing, the more the subtleties show themselves. So you can't not see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even there is no effort involved. The more those ideas and beliefs and mental structures, thought forms, kind of give in to the flow, the more the subtleties just show. It's like you can't not see them.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden you see them. It's just like blindfolds have been taken off.
Taken off, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
No, that's a very nice way to articulate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear that.
Now you know that, you know all of that. It's so beautiful. I love your invitation, Susie. It's very inspiring.
I think it's
you know all this.
yeah,
you know
it's been there. Yeah. And I think I think there was just doubt that really kind of overshadowed all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. You know, those doubts will be taken away from the flow. The more flow there is, that's my experience. The more, it starts with a little stream and then it gets wider and wider and wider, and then it takes those doubts away. Yeah. Just noticing even that there are doubts is already crumbling. They're crumbling already. Yeah. They will fall into that river, into that big, big river. Sometimes that flow has also waterfalls, big falls, there's take some of those wows. I know you have had that in your lives. I never saw that. See, then when it goes big water. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of that is also this is a pattern that's really it's kind of breaking up, but it's like, I think because a lot of that there's been a lot of external how to say it, I guess doubt coming from externally, if that makes sense, or believing in that stuff that's been coming in. And so for me to see through that and to trust this has been massive. Yeah.
Sometimes there's also some beavers and they bite through a lot of trees, and then there's a bit of a blockage. It can show up as doubts and stuff, and those beavers kind of no, not here. Your flow has to be interrupted here, and you think, what the heck is that?
Redirected.
It takes it away again. It takes it away. If possible, don't bite into. You come with some other instruments and make space again. Yeah. Never doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself. Never. Never. Never ever. Oh, you come here and I tell you, never ever doubt yourself. You know your intention. You know your intention. You know your heart. And you just stay with that.
Yeah, it's amazing how we
also make a distinction between doubt and having a look. When someone comes and tells you something, about you or about whatever, you know, you can go into doubting yourself, or you can have a look. So, is there anything, you know, is there a gift in there for me? Or, you know, can I find that inside myself? Or, I mean, I always can find everything, but it doesn't mean, you know, that I have to doubt myself. It's just an aspect that I know of, but the flow is much, much bigger. So, you know, it's like not looking away, not sending away, just it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Is there anything, is there a gift in there for me? Is there an opportunity? So that's different to doubting yourself. Yeah.
It's like an exploration. Yeah.
Yes. You know, and sometimes there is maybe no gift. Maybe that's the gift, that you clearly see, no, it's not interesting for me. You know,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you move on. But then that is the gift. Then that is the gift that you can see. You didn't have to doubt yourself. It's like, okay, now I can move on here. Never doubt yourself. It's very unhealthy. It's a very unhealthy old habit that is planted into our cell memories. Useless. You know what it does. It makes you small. Makes you very, very small.
Yeah, it's an interesting dance between that having that capacity to take on, to not doubt, but to see if there's some truth in perhaps that, without any reaction or judgment or
without shrinking.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, that's the habit, because somehow we've been, we grew up in a strange society in this, you know, where we've been made small, and there have been lots of righteous people around us, and, you know, with intention, keeping people small so that they can be followers, and, you know, all that stuff. So, but we have looked through that now. So it's not helpful. It's definitely doubting ourselves is not helpful. You know, seeing if there's a gift in what somebody brings, that's a different story. You know, so maybe there's something, sometimes yes and sometimes no, and then moving on. Very, very important.
I think one of the biggest things that you've helped me to see was my brain's just gone blank. Oh no, come back.
But very sweet acknowledgement. Very sweet, whatever that was. Thank you. I received the gift. I did receive the gift. Thank you. Whatever that was. Oh.
But is that, no, it has come back. It's that it's that ability to be able to know when there's an upset or a triggering, but to be able to communicate from a space of of that kind of very present, that, you know, that state of presence, and just what a gift that's been to if, you know, to give myself time in that space to if it's seeing that's to go, okay, yes, it's okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Not to react and not to have to, and to give, yeah, to just give that space to allow whatever it is to be met, and then okay, now is that space to, yeah, like that's been life changing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear. Thank you.
Mm.
Life changing here too.
Mm.
When that was discovered.
And even just articulate the way that I've changed, or I can, yeah, how things are articulated in terms of, you know, yeah, in terms of the experience that's happening here, and then huge.
Oh,
Mm.
so happy to hear.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that that metaphor of the river and the flow. That's really lovely.
Mm. Mm. You know, sometimes it gets a bit smaller, you know, has to squeeze itself through there, and then it's getting wider again, and you know, some obstacles between, some rocks here and there, and yeah. All of it. I mean, just all life experience, all of it, from happiness to grief to, I mean, just all of it. And then the bigger picture, that far out, that there is something like experience. Oh, I can just, you know, when I'm allowed to speak like this, like far out. I'm just in wonder, just in wonder. Nobody can tell you anything about this. Nobody knows how and why and anything of it, anything. Even though we try, you know, with all our scientists and all that stuff, nobody has a clue what's going on. Oh my God. I mean, you know, it's quite something, isn't it? Gosh, and then sharing that is even, yeah, another dimension. Just having an opposite, yeah, who knows it too, far out.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Courage, huh? The courage
Mm.
to take a moment to not waver, huh?
Mm.
Fully show up for our heart.
Mm. Yeah, it's so effortless and so beautiful. Mm. Mm.
I'm deeply touched by our meeting, Susan.
Mm. Yeah, thanks, Meike. That was
Wow.
beautiful. Mm.
Thank you. Eva.
Wat aan.
Oops, you've frozen. Ah, some movement. Ah, I think you're back. All is well?
Yeah, a lot of things happening. But so it's really nice to to sit with you.
Where are you?
And I'm in Tenerife,
Okay.
and we actually just climbed the Teide with two
Oh.
friends. We went on
Oh.
the mountain. Yeah,
All
it
right.
was really cool, and yeah,
Mm.
and my best friend is staying with me here, and so it's really 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 nice to be together like a lot, but also of course like I see some things like in myself like sometimes it's also intense, like I come uh, you know, how do you say that? Yeah, but it's very insightful.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like sometimes when I notice that maybe I find it hard, like we come into some kind of dynamic, and then I go into this very anxious mode, and she needs more space, and then I find it very hard to give that space for, because I go in that some things get triggered in me, and then it feels almost like dying, than to let it go, or to that it's like means like forever it will be. I think that's some kind of touch, and it's really good, you know, to, because I can really feel that um when I keep going, it's really not okay. It's not okay for her because I don't give her the space that she asks for and that she needs, and then and also it doesn't help. So it's really good that I can go through it somehow and really get back on my own, and just
Yeah.
know that it's always okay.
Yeah.
You know that it's, but it's so weird how you can, like, how that the whole organization then believes that like it needs to be
Yeah.
fixed. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sounds like an early attachment story. Just good to
Yeah.
identify. Just good to identify, you know. Just good to identify.
And then, but yeah, so then when I let go, then I really noticed that when, well, okay, when I'm in my own like normal kind of, you know, when I come a bit back to however you call that, to yourself or something, then I
Yeah.
feel like, of course, like all is well, you know, there's
Yeah.
nothing to. But when we are when we are in the same space, for example, and then it's like we need to be quiet and we cannot speak, or it's like, then also this, it feels like so intense for me, you know, like the energy or something. It's really difficult for me.
So Eva, whenever you notice that, you know, there's, it maybe at first it might be intense and very, very intense immediately, but maybe when you explore this, see, whenever you notice that discomfort coming in, you go and take space. You go somewhere else.
So I would
Take,
also go a walk away. I just go for a
yes,
walk.
you take yourself
Yeah.
out of that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say, oh wow, something is going on here. Oh, you know, I don't know how you speak, but
Yeah.
I just need to go for a walk, or whenever you notice that, so that you can come back to yourself. Yeah, take a time
Yeah.
out consciously. No right, no wrong in
Yeah.
there. You're taking care.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's sitting next to me, and
Yeah,
she has to
fantastic.
laugh because she always say, "I need a time out," and then I can also say, "I also need a time out." I'm going. I'm
Fantastic.
going.
And
Yeah.
you can say that even with a
Yeah.
smile on your face now. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything about her, nothing about you. It's like, whoa, something gets triggered, and it sounds like early attachment, you know,
Yeah.
disorganized system, you
Yeah.
know.
It's so
Yes.
Like it's really
And
normal. Yeah, like you know what I mean.
whenever you
Yeah.
notice, the earlier you notice, the better. The earlier you notice, take yourself out of the situation. Let her know, whoop, I'm feeling it again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going now immediately. And I come back.
Yeah.
Just I need to take care.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's that somehow there's then this fear of that it will never be okay again or something like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but not
that's
now.
also even if it wouldn't be, it's not to keep yourself in a situation. So it's like
You see
yeah,
right here, right now, you see that it's not true. Is that true?
yeah, yeah,
Yes. So that's why, the earlier you notice, the better. Because, when you're already a few steps
when
in,
you
it's
go
like, oh
into
my
it
gosh.
already. Yeah,
Yes. So the earlier you notice, the better. When you just notice a tiny little bit, it's like, oops, here it is. I need to jump around. I need to go out or whatever.
and that it's also totally okay to just want a little bit of space and want a timeout. Actually, it's actually very healthy.
Absolutely natural for all of us.
Yeah,
Absolutely natural. Absolutely natural and healthy. Doesn't
yeah,
mean anything, especially if we have disorganized early attachment stories. That we need some time out. We need to take care about it ourselves because we will not get it from the other. It's just not possible. And then there's that terror coming. Oh my gosh. So you got to go out and regulate your system again. You got to learn it and you need to do it yourself. So
yeah.
good luck, both of you.
Very good opportunity. I'm very
Very
grateful for
good.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
really awesome because now it comes like really into focus that this that I can really yeah
Mm.
I'm so grateful that you're there.
Yes. Good luck. And lots of fun with it for both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Eva. Mwah. Thanks for most beautiful interactions and inspiring conversations. Love to you all, and yeah, see you around. Ciao.